Hi, Valerie. Welcome in on Facebook. This is a spirit chat and free readings. We start first with the spirit chat and then we move into the free readings. So welcome, everyone. We're happy to have you guys here. All right. So for those of you that are watching me on Zoom, you can type in the comments if you'd like. Type in the comments a 1 if you've been here before. This is not your first spirit chat. Type a 2 in the comments if you're brand new. This is your first time here. Welcome. Thank you for that. And I do a spirit chat. Usually I do a spirit chat every Friday, but you know, with summer and everything, we kind of slowed down a little bit at Lotus. We're not doing as many events as we normally do, but every Friday I would either have a topic myself or I would bring one of my friends in to do a topic. And I have a lot of friends in the metaphysical spiritual community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Uma. I am the CEO of the Lotus and the Light Metaphysical Center located in Northern Virginia, Manassas, Virginia, to be exact. And we teach a variety of classes and offer a variety of services at Lotus. So this is our way of giving back to the community, you know, to be available if people have questions about their own personal development, spiritual development, psychic development, and also to just kind of check in with the community and say hello. All right. All right, so we got 221. Catherine, welcome back. First time. All right, Danielle, thank you for being here. And we got 2s and 2s. Got you. Hey, Gio, I see you. First time. Got you, Derek. Got you. Thank you so much. All right. So I titled this talk, You Had a Spiritual Awakening, Now What? The reason why I did that is because I wrote a book. The Awakened Life. So it's kind of like a play on words because of my book. And hi, Michelle, welcome back. So with this book, I wrote this book back in 2014 when I had come out of the spiritual awakening process because I had my spiritual awakening 2008, right? And after that, I needed some years to adjust to what was going on, what I was feeling, what I was experiencing. There's one thing I have to say about, oh, let me pin my video. My bad. Sorry, guys. Pin. Or spotlight for everyone. There you go. There we go. Okay. Hi, Danae. Happy Friday. So when I wrote the book, you know, The Awakened Life back in 2014, I had come out of the whole awakening period. And I had reached this new level of understanding about why we're here and what we're here to do. So a lot of us go through the spiritual awakening and then it's like, what's your next steps? Because to me, there's so much hype in the community about having a spiritual awakening. But what about what comes after? Like nobody's hyping that or telling us like, hey, all right, now that you had a spiritual awakening, here's your next steps. Right? So I thought I would come with that angle because everybody's talking about a spiritual awakening and what it means. So let's first start with that. What is a spiritual awakening? And by the way, guys, I hate talking to myself. Like, listen, don't make me feel schizophrenic sitting out here. All right, just talking to myself or like imaginary people. Type it in the comments. For those of you on Zoom, unmute yourself. What do you feel is a spiritual awakening? You know what I mean? Like, what is a spiritual awakening to you? And by the way, there's no wrong answers because everybody's experience is different. I'm going to share, of course, my experience as a spiritual teacher, as you know, someone who's been in the metaphysical arts for over a decade. But I still want to hear what you guys think. What is a spiritual awakening? I just dropped that sage. How was my spiritual awakening? That came in from Facebook. It was intense. It was intense. And I'm sure I speak for many of you that have been through your own spiritual awakening, that it's definitely an intense process. The way I describe a spiritual awakening is when you realize that there's more to life than what you've been conditioned to believe. So what does that mean, conditioned to believe? How many of us, put a 1 in the comments, right? If you've been conditioned to believe that you had to grow up, go to school, get married, have them kids, get that house with a white picket fence, 2.5, you know, kids, maybe a dog or a cat or something, right? And get that job and just be happy until you die. Right, Derek? That's what I'm talking about. It's programmed. It's all programmed, right? Derek said, when I started seeing and hearing spirits, now I'm able to talk to animals that have passed a year later. That's wonderful. An epiphany of self-realization from a different perspective. That's it. I felt like I'm going through an awakening now, but I don't know anymore. Yeah. An awakening, a spiritual awakening for me is just that you wake up and realize that dream that has been forced down your throat is not the dream you want. In fact, you come to the realization, I don't even know what my dream is. I don't know what I'm doing, right? Congratulations, Melanie. Melanie says she's going through her awakening right now. So when you reach that point, exactly, Danae. Danae said, starting to do your own research. It's that the spiritual awakening is realizing that the life that has been told to me and sold to me does not work. And I want to find my own way. Maybe you were born into a family of lawyers and you decide, I want to be a photographer. Maybe you were born into a family of, I don't know, maybe nobody in your family went to college and then you decided, I want to go to college, right? It's about you making choices for yourself and not depending on other people to tell you what is right and what is good for you, right? So the spiritual awakening, what I've noticed as a teacher, usually happens to people in their 30s and 40s. Why would I say that? Because that's when people find me, right? I'm here minding my business at my center, right? Seeing clients, teaching students, doing my thing. And without fail, every year, someone new would find me and say, I'm not happy. I want my inner peace. I want joy. I want to be happy again, right? And I don't know how to do that anymore. I don't know what it is that I want. I don't know what I want to do for work. I don't know how I feel about love. I don't know. I don't know. And that's when they find me and they find my center. Daniel said, I'm in my 20s. Yeah, I get some 20-year-olds. There's a couple of 20-year-olds at my center, but the majority of people have spiritual awakenings around the 30s and 40s. I've read more books and taken more classes in a year. I have in my entire, I know that's right, Derek. And I'm in that age range. Yeah. Right. Gio said, is it a lifelong learning? It can be. You do reach a point where you stop taking classes. I was in classes and development for 20 years and I spent over $50,000 on my education. But you do reach a point when the teachers can no longer teach you. I used to be that person who said, oh, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm a lifelong student. I used to say that until you really do reach a point where you start predicting the class, or you can in a way teach the class because you just know the material so well, right? Melanie, good on you. She said, it happened in my 50s when I chose to change a pattern of wrong beliefs. And that's the hard part. For those of us, I'm 44. For those of us that begin our spiritual awakening in our late 30s, 40s, 50s, I feel it's harder for us than for people in their 20s, early 30s. Because you know why? As you get older, you get set in your ways, you get set in your beliefs, you get set with your thoughts and patterns. And let me tell you something right now. As a teacher, it is the hardest thing for me to try to change something that half of you wants to change. It's the hardest thing. Because when I teach, I don't teach this to everybody, because to be honest, not everybody on the planet wants the same thing. There's a lot of people who say they want to be free, they want to be enlightened, they want to live a spiritual life, but that requires commitment, dedication, effort. That requires change behavior. You got to stop being a victim. You got to stop blaming everybody else. You got to stop calling every ex you've ever dated narcissist. And it takes like a cold, hard look in the mirror of understanding you've created the crap you're in. And I'll be honest, a lot of people think that's what they want, but they don't want it. They don't want it. You know why they don't want it? Because it's hard. It's hard to change. And let's be realistic, guys. It's easier. It's easier to blame other people for the crap that you call your life, right? Well, because of this person, I can't get ahead. Or because of this person, I stay home and I, eat all this junk food and lay on the couch. One of the first steps in your spiritual awakening is owning the fact that you've created your reality. So for those of you who've said you've had a spiritual awakening, put a 1 in the comments if you have come to that realization. Everything that has happened in my life to this date is because of me. I'm 40 and I'm going through a spiritual awakening. I fear risk and change. I'm my biggest impediment. Kate, I'm right there with you, sweetheart. Don't feel fearful. It's a great thing. It's a glorious thing, but it is a life-changing thing. All right. Sherry, I see you. Hi, Miranda. Good. We got some 1s. Thank y'all for y'all honesty. Right? Thank you for your honesty. Once you come to realize, and that's just based on one of the laws. Put a 2 in the comments if you understand that this universe is run by natural laws. What are natural laws? Natural laws are not man-made laws. Like a man-made law is you can't drink until you're 21. You can't get your driver's license until you're 18. That's man-made laws. That has nothing to do with nature. Right? Do you understand that this universe runs on natural laws? Law of gravity, what goes up must come down. Law of cause and effect, whatever is created has an effect. Law of vibration, you can only attract to you what you are, which is, by the way, the basis of law of attraction. Right? When you start to understand the laws, one of the laws is the law of attraction based off of law of vibration, which says that this is a vibrational universe we live in. So that means everything comes to you by your invitation. So we got to stop with all that crap, right? Somebody put a hex on me, somebody cursed me, there's a spell on me, there's an entity attached to me, there's negative energy around me, I need you to clear it. First of all, don't let none of you book me to clear you of no energy, negative energy, because that's not real. That's made up. So don't waste my time, okay? don't waste my time and call me for that stuff. The thing is though, when you understand just how powerful you are, when you can feel the power of that force flowing through you, when you understand that there is a God and God is within you as is God is without you, when you start to live your divinity, all of this stuff that you fear or you worry about or you concern yourself with, it flies out the door. Anybody following me? You understand what I'm saying? It flies out the door. So the fears that people feel right now, they're valid because your viewpoint is skewed. You got to start changing the mental patterns. And that is the hardest part of the spiritual awakening, because the spiritual awakening does not come with a manual. It doesn't come with a book that says, hey, you had a spiritual awakening. You know what? I should probably write it. Hey, you had a spiritual awakening. You know what? Here's what's going to happen next. Number 1, all the people that you thought were your friends and your close people in your circle are going to fall away, because the law of vibration says you can only attract to you what you are. So if you have an awakening and you woke up and your friends did not wake up, you have to leave them behind. Put a 3 in the comments if that started happening to some of you. Right? You started outgrowing people. You started outgrowing marriages. You started outgrowing relationships. Some of you started outgrowing jobs. What am I doing here? Why am I wasting my time here? What's going on? Right? So that's why people fear a spiritual awakening. You don't fear it because you're afraid of elevation and enlightenment and ascension. You fear it because it requires change. And how many of you, be honest, how many of you have lived your lives trying very hard to avoid change? Right? Are we going to have a discussion? Or are we going to have a discussion? Right? Are we going to have the spirit chat? Or are we going to have the spirit chat? Thank you, Kimberly. She said, absolutely.
Yes, I have.
Thank you, Sherry. Sherry said me. Thank you.
I have.
The spiritual awakening came to you because you were ready. So if any of you are doubting yourselves right now, you need to get that out the door. You know why? because not everyone was offered a spiritual awakening. How many of you have people in your life right now doing the same old, same old? They're 46, 44, 58, 62, still drinking, living it up, partying, not a care in the world, living for themselves, only for themselves, greedy, miserly, whatever. Right? And that's the thing. You didn't want that for yourself. You didn't want to go to the grave just doing the same old, learning nothing. Right? You wanted to change. You wanted more substance in your life. You wanted more intimacy in your relationships. You wanted more connection with source. Whether you call source God, the universe, Mother, Father, God, whatever you call it, you've been craving something deeper. And you know why? Because your soul has always been there. So you might have deadened your senses, right? Drinking the liquor, smoking the weed, popping, the ecstasy, whatever. But eventually it wears off. And then when it wears off, where are you? You're right back to where you are, unfulfilled. So your spiritual awakening is a blessing. It's the blessing you've been asking for, because law of vibration says you will attract to you what you are. So the first rule of a spiritual awakening, what's your next step? Now what? You don't judge other people that hasn't reached that platform yet. That's the first thing you do. You contain that desire to judge others. It's not for you to wonder or concern yourself with other people's paths. It's only for you to focus on your path and to understand, what is this life about? One of the things I am is a medium. I communicate with people on the other side. And what is the number one regret I hear? If spirit had a voice and they said, if I could live longer, what would I do? Spend more time with my loved ones, travel more. I wouldn't worry about the money because, hey, I saved all that money and I died. I didn't even get to enjoy it. I would take that money and go enjoy a nice meal, go to the movies, take a trip, spend it on my friends who I love and adore, right? When you have a spiritual awakening, it's to wake you up from the lie that you've been living. And for you to understand that there's more to life. There's more to life. So now, what do you do with it? That's the question. For me, of course, I'm a teacher. I'm going to recommend mentorship, right? For those of you that are developing and you're looking for your next thing, like what is my next path in life? What am I focusing on? What are my goals? I recommend getting yourself a mentor. Get yourself a spiritual mentor, right? Don't look to your friends who are kind of blind like you, and they're just it's like the blind leading the blind. Don't do that. But that's what most people do. I'm going through this. Let me talk to my friend. Let's go Google some stuff. And then let's, patchwork an answer of what this is. Go to the experts. Go to the people who've been through this or worked with people who've been through this, who understand every single thing that's going on with you, right? I had a new client call me today and she was like, I'm going through this, and she really thought she was going crazy. And I started to break it down for her. Oh yeah, this happened. Let me guess, you're in your 40s? She's like, yes. How would you know? Because you're going through a spiritual awakening. And all these things happen when you go through a spiritual awakening. The insomnia, the can't sleep, the waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Now you're, you know why? You know why that happens? Because when you have a spiritual awakening, your body starts to become back in rhythm with the earth. So if it's a full moon night, you ain't sleeping. If it's a new moon night, you probably ain't sleeping, right? But you judge it as a negative thing. You judge it as a negative thing because, oh, why? I have to go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning and I've been up all night. But your spirit, your soul does not care about work. Your spirit, your soul does not care about your schedules, right? Can you have more than one awakening? You have several awakenings, but the major awakening, when we say spiritual awakening, is the first one you have when you realize I'm living a life that is not the life I want to live. I want more. My life is not, I'm not happy. I have it all. I got the husband, I got the kids, I got the house, I got the fancy car, I got the fancy job, and I'm still not happy. What's going on with me? So true about the moon. Yeah. Hey, Metaphysical. Hi, Angie. Right? It's definitely a spiral staircase. You have your awakening that gets you on the staircase, but every couple of years or months, depending on how fast you move through the lessons, it grows and grows and grows and grows. I detail it. I know each step. Why? Because I've been through it myself, and I've worked on over 12,000 people through my center who've been through it. After dealing with that many people, you kind of get an idea of what's going on. Everything you guys are going through with your spiritual awakening, I am pretty sure there is an answer I can give you about why that is and why that's happening. Hi, Angie. All right. So what is your next steps after a spiritual awakening? One, you have to do things that maintain the vibration that you're at. When you go through a spiritual awakening, you go from here to here. It's like a bump up. It's an energetic bump up. And the things that you used to do before no longer appeal to you, right? So how many of you have started changing your diet? How many of you started meditating more? How many of you started looking into metaphysical classes, looking for the teachers, reading metaphysical books? Honor that, because that is exactly what your spiritual awakening wants you to do. You can't have your spiritual awakening and then say, all right, I'm going to go back to like eating pizza, laying on the couch, you know, hanging out at the bar with my friends. You can still do all those things, but it shouldn't be at the forefront of your mind anymore, because now your mind is like, but I need to know more about this journey and what this is. Right? Angie says me. Yeah, you change. Instead of on a Friday night, instead of going to the bar, you want to go to a drum circle, right? Instead of Sunday, you know, you hanging out at somebody's house watching the game, you want to go take, right, like a Reiki class, right? This is normal, guys. This is normal. The classes we offer at Lotus is to teach you how to become self-sufficient. But I walked away a long time ago from teaching people how to become professional healers and mediums and psychics, because I'll be honest with you guys, the ego is too much for me. The ego is too much. A lot of people have a spiritual awakening, and because they don't know what it is, they feel like they're the next coming of Christ. Hi, John. Thank you for watching from Kenya. All right. There's nobody here that is the next coming of Christ. Okay. Nobody. We all are doing it though. We all, hold on, got to delete the comment. Oh, I forgot to block the guy. But you are called for a purpose. 90% of us that are called to do this work are really called for our own healing and really called for our own development and for our own circles that we are in charge of, that we can take care of. There's maybe 10% of us that are called to actually take the charge up and lead the other light workers. So be aware of that. That's the one thing you want to look out for. When you're working with your mentor, whoever you find as a mentor or a spiritual teacher, if they start forcing you to take their development programs or whatever, and you're not feeling it, honor that, be honest to yourself and trust that, right? Oh yeah, sorry. I was trying to block him, but there we go. So the thing is, when you go through your spiritual awakening, life is going to change, but you need to know what this change is about. So my best ideas for you guys is, if you don't meditate, learn meditation. You get 100% of your answers from source in your meditation. The only reason people like me, teachers, exist is because for some of you, meditation is hard for you to access your own information, or you may be receiving the information, but you don't trust it. right? You don't trust it. You don't believe in it. You don't have confidence in it. So then you get your teachers, right? Your Reiki teachers, your access teachers, your mentorship teachers. And we don't show you the path. We don't give you the path. We assist you in finding your path. That is the mark of a great teacher, where they don't tell you where you're going or what you're going to do, but they help guide you. And then you make your own decision as to where you're going to go. Exactly, Derek. I get the info and I'm like, what do I do with it? Right? And Gio said, my meditation is different. Guidance. Yeah. However, listen, I never attack the way people meditate. The way I meditate is the way I meditate. The way other people meditate is the way they meditate. Meditation to me is like your sacred practice, and that's your private time with source. So however you choose to do it is on you. If you decide to like go out in your lawn and lay naked and put crystals on your body, and that's your meditation, that's your meditation. You will never hear me judging anybody else's meditation, because that is your way of connecting. The only time I might offer advice or help is if you come back to me and say, I meditate every single day and my life is still a mess and I don't know what to do and I don't know where I'm going. Then I'll be like, okay, now you need guidance. Now you need mentorship. Now you need a teacher, right? So that's it. That's my talk. I'm going to take questions from you guys. I'm going to shuffle the cards. Because the other half of this is me doing free readings for you guys, but we still continue the conversation. I like to throw it out there, what I know, what I talk about, and then I leave it open for you guys to give me your questions. Of course, you can ask me your psychic question for a reading, or you could ask me questions about living the awakened life and your next steps. See, look at that. I got the unity card. That's the spiritual teacher card. Mentorship. Get yourself mentors. How do I find a mentor? Where are you located, Daniel? Sure, Kimberly, what's your question? Connecticut. So the first thing you want to decide is, do I want a mentor in person or do I want a mentor online? If you're like, I don't mind online, I have a mentorship program. I'm gonna definitely throw my name in the race for that. I have a 6-month mentorship program starting Wednesday, July 6th. It runs on Wednesdays. You don't have to do all 6 months together. It starts January and it starts July. So I can be one of those people, but if you wanted something in person, you can start to look at the metaphysical stores, shops in your area, and don't tell people you want to be mentored. Just go and attend the classes. A lot of students who end up mentoring with me never told me they wanted to mentor with me. They would just come to my free talks, free chats. If I go to a festival, they'll show up and get a reading with me. And then they would just vibe off of my energy and say, that's the person I want teaching me. So that's what I would recommend, is like you check out the local, teachers, healers in your area and see what they're offering. But I strongly suggest none of you tell people you're looking for a mentor, because that's when you start to see the upsell coming. All right. I'm in Harrisonburg and I have found any in the area. You found, or you didn't find any in the area? Wahida said, highly recommend the mentorship program. Thank you. I feel stuck and sick and have lost most of my family. All right, I'll get to you, Alicia. I'll get to you, Gio. Thank you, Danae. Yeah. And for those of you that are here, I'm gonna drop the link of my mentorship program in the comments, so you guys can check it out. But even with that, like, I recommend all of you to check out my mentorship program, but see if it fits, because it's not for everybody. Like, listen, guys, I'm not going to get at all. If you go to my website, you check out my mentorship program and you're like, that's not for me. I'm not going to get offended at all. I'm not here to work with everybody. You're not here to work with everybody. We ain't got time for that, right? Everybody got places and things to do. But Daniel, what I would recommend for you and anybody who's looking for a mentor is look first in your local community, see what's available. And if you don't like the options that are available, then go online, right? If anybody in here is free on Wednesdays in July from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern, you can join my mentorship program. It starts July 6th. Thank you, Miranda. This is terrible. I got all my students on Facebook talking about the mentorship program. All right, let me answer some of these questions. Kim, I know you told me what you're going through, but what is your question? Would you just like a general advice from spirit? Kate, Uma, when you meditate, do you allow thoughts, visions, and guidance come to you, or do you meditate on a specific issue? I just release control and let go, Kate. I start with mantra. I have a special mantra that my guru gave me that, you're welcome, Davina, right? So I do my mala beads 108 times, chanting the mantra. And then after I'm done, I just sit in silence. I don't know, but I've been meditating, guys, for 20 years. So it's just easy for me to sit and just go off. You know what I mean? To just kind of disappear to wherever I go. Sometimes I see visions. Sometimes I get messages. Most times I'm just kind of like blissed out. Kate, I hope that answers your question. How many steps are there after awakening, or there isn't a set steps? I'm pretty sure if I sit down and I write it out, I'm pretty sure I can get up with set steps. But what I will tell you is that after the awakening, you see, when everybody comes to an awakening, not everybody comes at the same time in the same place. They're like, okay, somebody said earlier, I came into my awakening in my 50s. Somebody else said, I came into my awakening in my 20s. It has more to do with our allowance. If you are a person who is very stubborn, very closed-minded, I know what I know, nobody can tell me nothing, good luck. It's going to take you a couple of years. But if you're kind of like, you know what, I need help. I don't know crap. That's why my life's a mess. Let me try to get some help on here. You know what's another funny thing that people do? They hired a teacher and then they fight the teacher. I can't begin to tell you how many people have hired me, and then I'm trying to do my job and they fighting me the whole time. They fighting me. And I'm like, what are we doing here? You know, it's like, did you pay me to come here and be your friend, or did you pay me to come here and show you how this path opens up for you, right? How do you know who your spirit guides are? Well, I do teach a spirit guide workshop where I create the space, Alicia, for you to meet them. I'm pretty sure other teachers do that as well. How do you know? I've never had a student complain to me or tell me that after they met the people that they were not sure. So I guess it would depend on the expertise of the teacher that's guiding you to make sure that they have you in that place that's ready to receive. Does that make sense, Alicia? Michelle, what are CM's thoughts, feelings, if any? Okay, I got you, Michelle. Let me start with Kimberly. Got you, Wahida. All right, let me get back. Feeling lost and miss my mother as her passing was suspicious. All right, I'm gonna start with class was to the point, so I'm just stop showing up. Yeah. Michelle Krantz, I'm drawn to you. I'm going to pull one card. Now, I don't ever do readings on people that are not present, right? Because that's a violation of the code, of psychic code. But I can pull a card for you, Michelle, and just give you a message from spirit. Does that sound good? Your card is Two of Fire. This is a really good card because this talks about partnership and collaborating with people. Usually it means in a business sense, but in a romantic setting, it could indicate that two people have the same values and are on the same path and in the same mind. All right. So with this card, I would say whoever that person is, they're kind of feeling like they're feeling your vibe, and they definitely appreciate your vibe. In terms of whether or not they're going to make a move, again, that's free will. That depends on them. But I do know that they recognize a kinship there. All right, Michelle. That's class was to the point. Some just stopped showing up. What's that, Derek? What's a herbal for me, Derek? Huh? You're just welcome, Michelle.
A general card.
Is your mantra personal or private? It's private. When you, I'm initiated in the yogic path. I'm a 200-hour yoga teacher, and you can go through the initiation under the guru, and they each person gets their own mantra. All right, Wahida, what does spirit want me to know at the moment? Let's go. Okay, we got one that fell out. Unity card. This is about here we go, this way. This is about finding spiritual community, taking spiritual classes, developing your spiritual path and purpose in life. So this is a card saying, you know, don't get too busy with work or personal life. Don't forget your spiritual path and to invest more time in that. All right. Angie, what does Spirit have a message for me? Got you. Got you. Knight of Earth. This is about, you know, completing tasks. It says time to buckle down, get things done, honor your commitments. So have you been dragging your feet lately on some things that you know you got to do, but you've kind of been like, you know, procrastinating a little bit? Spirit is saying, hey, even if you move slow, you're still moving, right? So there's things that you want to create, Angie. Just put your energy there, love. You're welcome, Kate. Feeling lost. I miss my mom as her passing was suspicious. All right, let's just pull one card for you, Kimberly, because you got a lot going on. And Kimberly, if you do want to book me for a private reading, that's like with all the stuff you're going through, we can do that. But you got the sun, Kimberly. Good times are coming up for you. Whatever it is that you're feeling, it's going to pass. It's temporary. It may be a plant. For some reason, I'm having awareness about planetary influences. I don't know your signs or anything. But I recommend, you're welcome. I recommend that you maybe look into your birth chart. Has everybody done their birth chart? Like that's the first thing whenever I get a new student or a new client, the first thing I want to do is their soul plan. It's like about 20 to 30 pages long, but the soul plan combines like astrology and numerology at your time, date, location of birth, your name at birth. And it tells you like as a soul, why you originally came here and what you originally intended to do. So I highly recommend for those of you that are starting out on your path, you start with a soul plan to kind of figure out like what this was all about. Okay. Thank you, Wahida. I would love a card or guidance from Spirit. I'm going through a career awakening. I love that, Kate. All right, Daniel, you're going to be next. And Derek, I didn't forget you guys. I'm going through a career awakening. You know what? You got two cards that fell out, Kate. Kate, you got King of Water, which is open your mind and heart to those around you, be charitable in your actions. And you got the Ego card, which is a false sense of entrapment. Kate, just shine. That's really what I hear for you. Don't be afraid of who you are or how big your spirit is, Kate. Just trust these like little nudgings you're receiving and go with it. All right, Kate, go with it. All right, Gio, I'm coming to you. Derek, general question. I got you. I got you, Derek. That flew out. Good times ahead, Derek. You got the star. It's time for you to make long-term plans, happy times, happy outcomes, make long-term plans. You're on the right path. So we know that you're going through a spiritual awakening. Keep going. All right. You got this, Derek. Find yourself your mentor. You did your Reiki class. Good on you. And settle down and see what comes up for you. All right. Congratulations on that. That's a great card. Gio said a card for my family. I got you. Queen of Air. This is a card about be less emotional, be more logical. So if you're having like some sort of defiance from people in your life, remind yourself not to be as emotional and remind yourself that you're in control, right? Remember, it goes back to that law of attraction, right, Gio? Like if you expect to have a conversation with somebody and you expect them to be argumentative, guess what's going to happen? They going to be argumentative, right? So whenever I have to have like a deep conversation with my partner or my kids or my friends, I already in my mind, like plan it out, like seeing them smiling, seeing them happy, you know, us having like a nice talk, no drama. And you just kind of like move with that energy. Sherry, I got you. Oh, you're a Gemini? Child, then you going through it. Because you had Mercury retrograde, now it's Saturn retrograde. No wonder you're going through it. But don't worry, you got the sun, Kimberly. So your good times are up ahead. And it's your birthday month, right? Sherry, you got 8 of Water. This is wanting to move on. This could be moving on from people, moving on from a situation, from a job, but you are desiring something more meaningful in life. Maybe you're going through a spiritual awakening, Sherry. Because this is really, if there was a card for spiritual awakening, it would be 8 of Cups or 8 of Water. It's like, nothing is making me happy anymore. I want something different, right? I got you, Alicia. How much for a private reading? I have slashed my rates for the summer. So if you guys book me for the summer, 1 hour is special rate 111. A 30-minute is 75, and a 15-minute, I think a 15-minute is 45 or 35. I gotta check my website, but I went down on all my prices for summer. All right, Alicia, you got the Emperor. It is time to get organized. This is a card about organization, logic, discipline, getting your life in order, right? So that's your message today. Time to organize and get correct. You are not about to have no hot girl summer. You are about to get working girl summer, all right? I feel so trapped. Why, Kate? Why you feel trapped? I'd love one. My happy surprise for long weekend. I got you, Miranda. You're welcome, Gio. Yeah, remember, Gio, you create this reality, right? So whatever's going on in your family, you know, that's on you. Create it better. Miranda, time to celebrate. 3 of Water, a celebration, wedding announcement, birth announcements, the need to have more fun. So you are on the opposite end of Alicia. Alicia has to work this summer, and you're getting to have the hot girl summer, right, Miranda? It's happy times ahead, time to rejoice. And it also indicates reunions, which we know is going to be happening on Saturday. For those of you that don't know, Miranda is my oldest client. She's been with me the entire 13 years I've been here. And I'm going on vacation to Tampa, Florida next week. And I'm going to be seeing Miranda to give her a session in person. I got you, Danae. So I'm super excited about that. Daniel, I'm working on mental health and feeling like myself, trying to move out, connecting with people. Does Spirit have a message for me? You're next, Daniel, after Danae. I got you. Yeah, because you know, the 3 of Water is reunion. So that's cute. We're going to have a good reunion. All right, Danae, you got the wheel, time of positive movement forward. You've been in a rut, you've been stuck, but now the wheel starts moving again. So you can expect good fortune and happy times as well coming in for you, Danae. Love that. And Danielle, good on you for working on your mental health. That's another thing. When I mentor my students with like psychic spiritual development, mental health plays a big part in that. 5 of Earth. Okay, Danielle, you have fears surrounding money. Time to accept help from others, right? Uncertain self-employment. So here's the thing, Danielle. I know that you said that you're young, you're in your 20s, and you're trying to figure it all out. One of the things you really got to rely on is that we live in a universe of abundance. There is no such thing as a lack of abundance or a scarcity energy level. Like, no. It's either is or it's without. So either you have abundance or you don't have abundance. There's no such thing as scarcity, right? So whatever it is that as you're going through all these changes, right, Daniel, remind yourself, like, I can create all the wealth that I need to take me through all the things that I'm trying to do. All right. Don't allow yourself to get sucked into the reality of this dimension, because the reality of this dimension is not real. I'm gonna tell you all that right now. I actually addressed that in the first class of my mentorship program, because law of attraction is so important for understanding that everything you want, you can have. So I literally start my mentorship program with that class, law of attraction. You got to learn it. You got to figure out the way this universe works, because you're just going to be running around, you know, going crazy. Davina, yes, I got you. Got you, Catherine. Yeah. General card message for Davina. 9 of Air. Davina, this says, you know, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Have you been worrying about something? Or do you find that you are constantly riddled with negative thoughts? Try as you might, you can't help but wonder. Yeah. I recommend for you access bars. Are you in the area? Are you close to Manassas, in Virginia, or are you out of state? Because access bars is one of the things I offer at my center that has really done amazing work in releasing these mental restrictions, these limiting beliefs that we have. You're in Canada. So go to the website. It's called Access. Here, I'm gonna type it for you. Go to Access Consciousness. There's a website and you can look for practitioners in your area. I can do phone consults, but I wouldn't be able to run your bars from the phone, but I can do like a 30-minute consult where I do the energetic clearing statements and stuff like that. It helps, it helps my clients out of town, but you can check it out. All right. Do you have any advice on my job situation? You're welcome, Davina. And listen, if you guys still have questions for me, ask away. I'm here for another 10 minutes. All right. That's the whole point of this. This is my way of creating like a community chat room. So every time you see me on Friday, that's what I'm doing. I'm here to answer your questions. All right. This was fun. Did you guys have fun? All right. About your job situation. Ooh, this is a great card about your job. Catherine, this is 6 of Earth. I like to call this my reciprocity card. Gifts of money, time, effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off a debt. You're going to have some big moves coming up in your job soon, Catherine. And it's going to be positive, all positive. So what I would say to you is, being that the energy is there to bring you what you want, I would start writing down or focusing on exactly the changes I want to see at my job. What should I do with around my family? I'm struggling with them. You're welcome, Catherine. Okay, so 7 of Air is the mindset thing again, right? Plans that need revision, poor timing, more going on than meets the eye. I got you, Stephanie. So with the 7 of Air card, Danielle, it's saying that you gotta, kind of like what I was saying earlier to Geo. I was saying that to Geo about, you gotta set your mind concerning your family. What are you expecting out of them? And what are you hoping to see out of them? Because remember, everybody in your world is here by your invitation. So if you don't like how the people in your world are behaving, change the way you think about them. And if you need help with that, that's what I'm here for. Finances be getting better soon. Thanks. Yes. What was your card, Derek? I think you got the Sun card, right? No, I forgot what card you got, Derek. Yeah, I got you. Stephanie, would love a reading. Need guidance on supporting my son Zuriel's behavior. Protect. This is the 9 of Fire card, is protect what you've created and not giving up. So you know your son better than anybody else. You know your son better than any professional, any hired help, anybody. So you got to tap into that inner knowing, Stephanie, and you got to act from that place. All right. Lila, a general card. Hi, Allison. Lila, you got 5 of Water. This is things not turning out the way you'd hope, crying over spilt milk, right? Not seeing the positive in a situation. This is like an emotional card. Maybe things didn't go the way you wanted it to go, but look for the blessing in how it went anyways, right? The 5 of Water card is always like a blessing in disguise card. Like, it may not have come the way you wanted it, or things turned out the way you wanted it, but that's the blessing. Because if it did, it would have been harder for you. Okay. Uma, to answer your question, I feel trapped in my current job. I'm not set up for success. I'm not happy, cannot afford a pay cut, and I'm at a point where I need to make decisions. I would really strongly recommend, Kate, you learn law of attraction. There's several ways. You can buy a book, read about it, because everybody talks about law of attraction. But if you've been buying the books, reading them, and they don't like work for you, then if you want, you could book me. I'm a law of attraction coach, right? We can work together for 4 weeks. Or you could book me for a 1-hour call where I explain the 5 steps of the law of attraction to you, and then you could go off on your own and do it. But here's the thing, Kate, the power is in you. So if you want all of that to change, you got to get your mindset right, and it's all going to change. I promise you. Derek, were you asking me a question, or you were just telling me that your finances are getting better? Kimberly, need guidance in communicating with my daughter. What's going on? Are you guys fighting? Is she a teenager? I have a friend who calls his teenager me-nager. That was cute. Okay, okay, I got you. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. And this is why y'all need to work with mentors, y'all, because that fear is relevant, but it doesn't have to be there. And when you work with a teacher, they can explain to you why you feel the fear that you feel. It's very relevant. They don't need to hold you back. Guidance in communicating with your daughter. Be the Queen of Fire, Kimberly. Be the queen of fire. She is confident. She is powerful. She's aware of her strengths. Don't let your daughter take you down. Don't let her second guess what you know or what you feel. Trust what you know, trust what you feel, speak from that place. Okay. She's 19 and miserable. Yeah. Don't let her make you miserable either. Okay. Yeah. Don't let, because that's the thing. Let me tell y'all something. You're all light workers. Whether you're looking to work on the light within yourself or you're looking to work on the light with other people, you're all light workers. And one thing the world is very good at doing is making the light workers doubt themselves. I came to that realization just a few days ago that I need to stop giving my power away. I know things, but then I allow other people to tell me that I don't know what I know. And I'm sorry, that crap stops today. That crap stops today because I am a damn good psychic. I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm gonna say it right here on this stream. I'm a damn good psychic. I know what I know. And I need, as Uma, I need to start trusting more what I know. As outlandish and outrageous as it seems, spirit don't lie. And I need to just sit with that. I got you, Derek. All right, finances be getting better soon. That's your question about your finances. You got to come back into balance, Derek, about your finances. So if you've been spending a lot, pull it in. If you've not been spending it all, spend some more. Only you can answer that question. What have you been doing too much of? And spirit is saying, pull it in a little bit, right? Or let it out, depending on which side you're on that cover. And then you'll start to see it balance out. Truth was getting sad for nothing because St. Louis isn't Idaho. I think you're right. I need to get back to another 30 days of gratitude. Exactly. But yeah, I get nervous that now we move that I can't help my son achieve the impossible. Okay, let's first stop saying it's impossible. Because if we put that out to the universe, then by law of attraction, it has to become impossible, right? So it is not impossible. It is definitely possible. And let's say it as your son set this task up so he can prove just how powerful he is. And all you're there, mom, is to help him do that and show the world how he can do it. All right. We change the way we talk. We always change the way we talk because every word we utter, every word we put out to the universe is exactly what we're going to get back, guys. So Kimberly said, I can relate. We're down to the end of our time together. This is what I want to leave you with. You guys are so much more powerful than you know. I don't even have to know you to know that you're powerful. You know how I know that you're powerful? Because I'm powerful. I'm beyond crazy powerful. If I put my mind to something, I will manifest the heck out of that thing quick. I could think of something in the morning and 2 hours later, I get said thing. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you, Lila. So I'm just going to say to you guys, if you don't step into your power, if you don't own the magnificent being that you are, then you will always be in the grip of the matrix. The matrix is real. It's not like a physical construct. It's a mental construct. And the longer you keep denying who you are, how powerful you are, the longer you keep making excuses for why you can't and why you shouldn't and why things don't, every single time you spend investing in all your excuses takes away from the time you could be spending living as a free and infinite being full of possibilities. You're a blessing, Kimberly. Thank you. Right? It is sincerely my hope. I've been a metaphysical teacher for a long time, guys. I've been doing this for 13 years. I've done over 12,000 clients. I just want us all to wake up. If we all wake up at the same time, we can shift mountains. You have no idea what we can do. But we got to get out of the matrix. The matrix makes you focus on the money, makes you focus on the love, makes you focus on the sex, makes you focus on the trends, makes you focus on the celebrities. Get out of the matrix. Live your life for you. Why did you come here? What are you here to do? Connect with your path. When you live your life in service to whatever you came here to do, get your soul plan done. Get your soul plan reading. Understand why you came here. Understand what lessons you came here to learn. Understand what you came here to do, right? And then live that path. Live that path. You are not here to to be somebody's employee. You're not here to be an employer. You're not here to be a wife. You're not here to be a husband. You're not here to be a mom or a dad. You're here to shine your brilliance. So I leave you with that. All right. Thank you, Davina, for coming. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for being here. And like I said, I have, for those of you on Zoom, I have your emails. So I will be sending you the link to my mentorship program if you want to check it out. You don't have to prepay. You can just RSVP and then prepay whenever you want to. That's fine. But for those of you that don't want to mentor it with me, that's fine too. That's not a problem at all. But I will tell you, if you've had a spiritual awakening, do yourself a favor and find yourself somebody who understands the awakening journey, and they can guide you through it, whether it's a mentor, a teacher, a yoga teacher, a psychic, a healer, whoever you feel comfortable with. Find yourself somebody who is knowledgeable and wise and who understands the process, and let them assist you with this. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be hard. It is the most joyful part of your life. And you should feel it and experience it like that. All right. You're welcome, Kate. Welcome, Lila. Welcome, Marinda, Kimberly, everybody. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and log off of Facebook. Zoom, do you guys have any more questions for me? Anything else you guys want to talk about before I head out of here?